Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us. You're watching Morning Cafe. We are in Karen once again at the residence of former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. This morning, we are talking about the role of the boy child. If you're just joining us for this particular conversation, we have Pastor Dorcas Rigathi and, of course, our Councillor Richard Ziwa Zimbalist. And just to remind you, we do have our audience here on set as well to help us drive this particular conversation. And before we went on that very short break, the councillor here brought about a very, very important point that for these parents, it's also their first time being parents. It's also their first time living. So if we are looking at it from that particular angle, Your Excellency, do you think it's possible to rebuild that trust when these now boys have become men with their parents? You know, when they're sitting down with them and telling them, you know, that mom, dad, you failed me. I feel like you failed me in this particular point in life. Do you feel like it's possible to restore that trust?
I think it is very possible. Everything in life, has to be very intentional and very deliberate. Every parent, when you decide you are going to have children, it's a decision you make. And it has responsibility, and we are accountable. And we cannot be too busy destroying what we are trying to build. And as families, family values must start now coming to the center, and people starting to play as a father and a mother. Those two titles are very serious titles, because when you are called a mother, you are supposed to nurture, you are supposed to make sure that everything is nurtured and it lives according to the divine order. The father too has a responsibility, because you are not only a one who dispenses a seed and then after that you just want to other people to take care of. And I'm not going to blame the parents so much. It is maybe the way of life, the society and the community. Everybody was meant to be a villager, by the way. And the moment we got off the village setup, everything went haywire. You see, we are striving to have a global village, even where they are. Why the village? The village had its own mechanism. When the father and the mother were not there, there were aunties, there were grandmothers that gave that support system to the children. They would discipline your children when you are not there. It is not the same as today. We have moved to the urban centers where everybody is for themselves and God for us all. You don't even know your neighbor. You do not have anyone you can speak to, because everybody is busy. Everybody is trying to make money. But I believe that we can still go back to the basics, because the children are crying. You have heard the cry of my son Matthew there. What they are crying for is not money. What they are crying for is not big houses. What they are crying for is not big cars. What they are crying for is love. Love can only be given freely. It is not bought. Any love that is bought is actually lust, and it never pays anybody, and it is never satisfies. But that love of affection, where you can just have an ear to your child speaking. Because to whom should this boy cry, if not to the father and if not to the mother?
That's right.
If they go to the society out there, the kind of opinions that people have will not even help to make that person. And therefore we must have time as parents. We must have time as mothers. We must have time as uncles to surround these children with love that they are requiring. In any case, I've just been looking the way they dress. They dress very scantily. They want even torn jeans. They walk with the very simple sandals. And perhaps if we were to give the greater love, we could model them to good people. And my son Matthew here wanted to know about this masculinity and divinity.
Right, the issue of toxic masculinity.
Yeah, many people, they keep talking about, I don't know how many parks and all this. Every man wants to look a certain figure and all this, and the opinions of people are as many as the people are. I would urge the boys, my sons out there, do not be pressured by the opinions of people. You are not defined by the figure. You are not defined by how you look on the face. The human being has a soul, has a spirit, and has a body. Now this body is just a casement that is carrying the bigger part and the substance. And that is the divinity, where your purpose is planted, where your dream, where your vision is. And what you should put your mindset on is your dream, and pursue your vision. Make sure it is your mission every day. Do not care about what people say, because they are going to speak. Whether you are successful or unsuccessful, they are going to speak.
All right, so it's better to ignore.
You ignore them and pursue your dream. And also associate with people who can be able to celebrate your masculinity, positive one.
All right, let's bring in the councillor as well for that particular point still, and this issue of the problem that is toxic masculinity. How much of this is cultural wiring versus vis-a-vis education and sensitization? Because one may argue that, you know, the role, the